Okay, using the Mexican Spanish idea of just growing these things in plastic boxes and just in very bright light. Probably I'm going to have to move some of those boxes. By the time we get to the third week of February, those boxes won't be under that tree, I don't think. I think it's going to be just too hot in there, and I'm going to be, I'm going to be growing them under the pergola right against the back wall, which is going to be very bright shade. You know, what Donald Snell calls bright shade. If it was any brighter, it will cast a shadow, but no actual direct sunlight on the boxes. I think what some of the Spanish and some of the Mexicans are doing. I think they've got the right idea, actually. You know, I think we should be using... Oh, well, we have got some water here, glistening in the sun. So there is a bit of a seep or a soak, but whether that's coming from the torrential rains we had, from that storm that knocked out 22 power lines and blacked out the whole stay. Nothing to do with renewable energy, of course. Totally to do with Mother Nature, but you know, the way these politicians are trying to spin it. Yeah. Oh. See, it almost looks like it's shifted, you know? That little patch almost looks like it's shifted. Amazing. Maybe the land... Is it too much to think that the landscape could actually shift a couple of feet? Well, if the whole thing suddenly just subsides, then we'll know that idea is not too far-fetched. The whole thing, oh yeah, especially when we got water like this coming out like up there. Yeah, maybe the idea that thing does look like it's moved 1.5, maybe 2 feet from where I thought it used to be. Maybe that's not too far-fetched. Yeah, especially when we got things coming through like that. Yeah, so maybe I shouldn't be actually standing up here, fellas. Because if it goes, it's going to go, and it's probably going to go, when it finally does go, it's probably going to go fairly quickly. And okay, well hopefully all my colour works has worked out and I'm on the right setting and, you know, back vistas and everything. Probably finally got some smeg on the camera lens or something. One of these late orchids coming in. Well, I don't know. It's a late orchid. The orchid freak people probably think it's an early orchid. Their season is different to ours. I don't know. There are overlaps, of course, but you know, yeah, more orchids coming out there getting ready to flower. But I haven't learned how to photograph anything like really well that's erect yet. I'll probably discover it by accident right in the middle of summer when there's nothing growing or something. I'll be itching. As I said, this time of year is always a bit sad for me because you know the season's coming to an end. In other words, there's 7.5 months. In other words, like 2/3 of a year I've got to wait before the next season starts. And whereas in WA it's the other way around. The whole season is on for about 2/3 of the year, if not a little bit longer. And then you're waiting barely 3 months before the next season begins. And there's so many more species, so many more vistas and everything, you know. So, I think that's about it, fellas. I want to go home and have a nice cup of coffee, but, I don't know. Just make one more push up here just to see what's there. You've got plants that also flower and look like a bit of water coming off there. Water coming off there. As I said, any glids on this sort of soil. It's just been a bad year. Well, there's a good screenshot for you. No, I think it's been a bad year for a number of reasons. We're going into our 18th year, and you know, as we learned from Ash Wednesday, it was that wet winter. They said, oh, we're not going to have another bushfire from Ash Wednesday 1. Had a wet winter, it all grew back worse than before, and we had Ash Wednesday 2, which was the big killer one. Other states talk about just Ash Wednesday. To us, it's Ash Wednesday 1 and 2, and it was the second one that was the really big one after a wet winter. And basically, with all this rain, it's all like a very late wet winter. So this could be the year, fellas. Around the third week of February onwards, we could be having our Ash Wednesday 3 sort of thing for this state. I've been saying it's coming. You know, we're due for one, and the last 4 or 5 seasons we've managed to scrape through. this might be the one. What with this strange rain event